Hi guys, I'm Shelley. Welcome back to my channel and a chin of cystic acne. Shall we just announce that? It's going to be one of those days. So to cheer myself up, I decided today is the day that I am going to start Boy Queen. It arrived, oh my god. Look at this beautiful, beautiful book. Boy Queen by George Lester. Life's a drag until you try. Ta-da! So I've mentioned this book just a few times. And you just look, it's sparkly. Can you see there are sparkles in the boy? There are sparkles in the boy. George has sparkles just by being George. I have emotions, okay? Shall we just say that? I should get on with explaining what the hell this book is. Anyway, it's beautiful. It's drag. I'm going to read from the back because I often get my words wrong and I want to do this book justice, damn it. Let's start again. Robin had it all figured out. A future on Broadway, a top secret boyfriend, and 2 ride or die best friends. Then all his worst nightmares came true. Now his life is a hot mess. I mean, whose isn't in this weather? Anyway, moving on. With nothing left to lose, Robin falls wig first into the glittering embrace of drag and comes face to face with the queen he's always meant to be. Robin's about to learn that sometimes your new self is your true self. I believe George has described it as Drag Race meets Gilmore Girls. I mean, what more do you need in life? So basically, Robin, our protagonist, wants to go to drama school and has applied to too many drama schools and has not got in. So to pick him up and make him feel better, his best friends take him to a drag night. He watches the most wonderful drag star in the world, who I now can't remember the name of, and starts following down the red high-heeled clickety-clack wonderful world of drag. I haven't read this yet, so what I thought I'd do is a book vlog. I have trouble remembering stuff, so if I review while I read, we have a better chance of actually getting a decent review. So I'm going to do that over the next week. And I'm tempted to just dive in and try and read the whole thing, but I know better. Also, there's a heat wave. It won't end well. By Friday, I will hopefully be reading the end of this during Kathy's live virtual reading, which I'm very excited about because I'm taking a part in that this week. So, yeah! It took 29 pages. Sorry, I'm cackling. I now get the Gilmore Girls reference. Robin's mum is Lorelai Gilmore and my mum put together, because she's just said to Robin, do I need to tell you the birthing story again? There's a part in Gilmore Girls where Lorelai Gilmore crawls into Rory's bed on her birthday every year and starts telling her about the day she was born, what labour is like, and the screaming and the pushing and the legs akimbo. And my mum does the same. Whenever she's annoyed at me and my brother, or wherever we're not doing as we're told, it's, excuse me, I had my stomach cut open for you. And you're just like, really, mother? But at the same time, yeah, she's a freaking genius. We interrupt vital reading for finally a downpour. I have also interrupted my vitally important reading of Boy Queen to now watch the wonderful George at Gay is the Word do a Q&A, which I'm very excited about. I've always wanted to go to Gay is the Word. I will go one day. It's a beautiful, beautiful queer bookshop in London. It helps the queer community. I was never able to go to kind of meet and greets and Q&As. Like, I've been to one in my whole life. I know quarantine is horrible for people, but on a side note of disabled and chronically ill people, it's opening up my life to be able to go to Q&As. I really hope bookshops carry on with this. You know, they're still going to have people in their store and they're still going to do their big Q&As and their signings and you can go along. But I hope they have like a dial-in version for people who can't make it. And maybe like if you buy a ticket, you give them your address and they send you the signed book. That would be really nice. Another day, another session of reading. Loving it. I've just got to the part where Robin has entered Entity. There's a sentence. Which is the gay club that he sees drag for the first time. And he's talking about how he breathes a sigh of relief when walking into Entities. I've heard a lot of queer people saying they breathe a sigh of relief when they walk into a queer space, and I'm wondering if it's just me, But does anybody else not do that? In the sense that they are a queer person, and when they walk into a queer space, they actually feel imposter syndrome? Emotions and feelings and thoughts have suddenly been brought up by reading that section because of being disabled and chronically ill and not being able to kind of fully immerse myself in it. I think maybe that's the thing. Also, when I'm in a queer space, I don't feel I can fully immerse myself because the few queer spaces we have in Bristol, they're not accessible very well, so it takes a lot to get into them. This is completely probably nothing to do with the book, it's just really hit me that I don't get that wave of relief when I go into a queer space, even though I want to, because I still don't feel queer enough. Is there such a thing as queer enough? All these thoughts and feelings are coming up while reading Boy Queen, and I think that might be a good thing. I can imagine being a baby queer. I mean, I sort of am. I know I'm mid-30s, but I still feel like a baby queer. I never really matured into the queer world, and so I feel like other baby queers, YAs, people reading this will go through these same thoughts. Will go through the thoughts of, do I want to go into a queer space? Is this what it's like? Will I get this sense of relief? Just being immersed in that. I don't know if these thoughts make sense, but this is what is going. This book is making me think. Put it that way. Oof. This book, I don't know if it's because I've got PMS or this book is just, it's bringing out so many feels right now. So I'm at the stage where androgyny is making her way through the audience at the drag show at Entity, and she's just locked eyes with Robin just for a second, and I had the most vivid memory of my first ever Pride. I'd accidentally ended up on my own. The first drag queen I'd ever seen in real life, 6 foot something, in amazing heels, and she's just stomping down Park Street, which I can barely do in flats. She's getting the crowd going, because this was when Pride was really small in Bristol. It was only like the 3rd year it had run or something, and most people didn't know it was happening, so you just had Saturday shoppers just going, what the heck? And she's just getting everybody on their feet and yelling and dancing, and she hits the bottom of the hill. I'm sat on the ground because I couldn't stand up anymore. I'm just jaw on the floor. I was so nervous and so scared because I was on my own. And she locked eyes with me and just mouthed, "You okay, love?" And I just nodded, and she carried on. And she yelled and she screamed and she got everybody dancing. She got a little old couple to come over and start dancing at the head of Pride, which I thought was amazing. I think they were doing like a little waltz or a foxtrot at the start of Pride, and then they carried on. But it was that second, the second she locked eyes with me and just went, "You okay, love?" And I just had to nod. That, I'd forgotten about that. And my mates turned up like 10 minutes later and I was fine. But to this day, for me, Queens mean safety. Because of that moment, because of any other moment. I've been to a few other Prides where I've been in my wheelchair, and whenever you get in trouble, Queens always just seem to lock eyes with you and nod and make sure you're alright, or they'll come over, and nobody else sort of comes over at Pride, but they make an effort to come over and make sure that you're alright, because Pride is not a disabled friendly place, put it that way. It's not an inclusive place for disabled people, but the Queens are. I'm having the emotions. George, what have you done to me? I'm a mess right now. But I forgot how much I appreciate a really good queen. There's a reference to Six the Musical. I'm gonna need a minute. My reactions to this book are mainly, I'm gonna need a minute. I'll just get hit. But there's just a reference to something. Or there's just a moment of pure sass and you're just like, just need to. It's like when you're watching RuPaul's Drag Race and there's just a moment and you're just like, I just have to pause that and rewatch it and just go, okay. Usually got something to do with Bianca Del Rio, if you're me. So it's like, every time she has a moment, I'm just like, must pause, must rewatch, okay, and now we carry on. This book is doing that to me. I'm just like, I'm having a Bianca Del Rio moment. And we're moving on. So in conclusion, how much do I love this book? Enough that I've just put a red lipstick over cystic acne and it took me a good 20 minutes, but I thought it needed that amount of respect. Okay, the review. I laughed, I cried, I snorted, I giggled, I had all the feels for this damn book. This is such a strong YA contemporary and a beautiful, very welcome addition to queer YA, which there is never enough of, and we needed a drag queen YA book, and this is what was asked for and more. It covers so much content in a short amount of time, not just about drag queens, but about everything else in a teenager's life. There are a lot of issues brought up in this book, and a lot of them are quite heavy, talking about bullying, homophobic bullying, lying, even at one point assault, and the F word. And it's not just thrown about for a shock value, it's there to show how much hurt it can still cause. It is written in there in the right context and shown what a horrid word it still is, and so it is sympathetically used, if that makes sense. You can understand why it is there and why it needs to be there. There's some dark content in this book, but it is lifted up and lightened. There is a beautiful budding romance running throughout the whole book, which just, it gives you the tingles a bit, that just like, it's gonna be okay, look at the cuteness, as well as the cutting drag queen wit, which just slices through any tension and makes everything feel that just a little bit better. I think what lies at the heart of this book is a love for the art of drag and the many forms it comes in, and the wonder you can have from not just watching it, but performing it and finding yourself through it. What I hope for this book is, like RuPaul's Drag Race, it can be another gateway into the art of drag. People will read this and go, okay, I have to go and see a local drag show. I just love this book, and I'm really glad I loved this book, and please go and buy it, read it, get it from your library once they're open again. I want to give this to me when I was younger. I want to give this to so many baby queers. It is beautiful. I am going to shut up now and work out how to take this lipstick off, because that's what I forgot about red lipstick. It's lovely once you've got it on, but it's a pain in the butt to get off because your whole face turns red. Anyway, I hope you guys are good, and I will see you guys soon once I'm done swooning over this damn book. Bye.
Need help packing? Beat it, Queen.